scenario, you create a new VPC. Your customer provided the following network requirements for the VPCs: CIDR ranges, top-level VPC, availability zone. They need to deploy their resources to 2 availability zones, 2 public subnets, 2 private subnets. If you want to learn AWS Cloud and you don't know where to start, it's all included in one page. If you want to get that, just click the link in description and you'll find how to get it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, we are practicing AWS, and today we are going to do another lab practice, which is networking lab guide. It's on AWS Educate. I'm going to leave the link in description below. You can practice as well, and if you get stuck, you can come back to this video, see how we are doing. And now I'm going to start the lab. I finished the training, so there are 2 sections. First is the getting started training, and after the training it goes back to the lab practices. So I'm going to start the lab now. It's going to take 45 minutes. Usually on this part on AWS Educate, it takes a little shorter, but if you are studying on Amazon Web Services getting started, it usually takes a little longer than what they say. And now I'm just going to start lab and then open the AWS console. It's going to take a little bit, so I'm going to just wait. Okay, now the lab is ready. I'm just going to all these instructions are given here, but because I've done that many times, I'm not reading through instructions. I'm just going to open AWS console now. As always, I'm going to take this one out so I can move between 2 pages, 2 screens. What we are going to do, we are going to explain the basic components of a VPC, deploy a basic VPC with public subnets, deploy an EC2 instance into a VPC. So this is how it's going to work at the end of this lab. Architecture will be, there's a public subnet instance working, there are 2 availability zones instance in this one, and VPC is connected to internet gateway, to the internet. Okay. Destination and target is local and also internet gateway. And 2 public subnets. Okay, let's go now. We have started the lab, and part 1, exploring the default VPC. Explore the default VPC configuration. Now we are going to just build the VPC in this region. Notice that default VPC configured with the CIDR range of 172.31.00.16. The CIDR range includes all addresses from this through this, which is total of, okay. So we have learned about this. We have learned more about this in the educational part, because it's 2 sections. Now I'm in the second lab section. It's always good, you have to do the education part first if you are practicing this lab, and you will have better understanding. You need to understand how networking works first. Okay, so explore the default subnets. So next we are going to create how many? 4 public subnets in different availability zones. 1 VPC. It gave me instructions. Okay, in the AWS management console of the services, enter. We are going to go to if it's not here on your screen, you can go to services and open from here. The latest ones will be on the main menu. And now from the search result, choose VPC. In the left navigation page, your VPCs. So we have this default VPC available. Okay. Notice the VPC. Next, in the left, we need to choose subnets now. We have that VPC configured. All the default subnets are associated with the same VPC by default VPC. Also notice that each subnet has a IP for v4 IPv4 IP. We need to go in maybe. Here it's shown here as well. Okay. From the list of subnet, choose the subnet with 20. 3100 this one. Okay. The VPC has a CIDR block of 16. Okay. This subnet has a CIDR block of 20, which includes addresses through 225. These CIDR ranges might look similar, but the subnet is smaller than the VPC because of this was net mask. This was net mask. It was showing on the training and how it works, and it's asking to pay attention to that. Notice that the value of auto-assign public IP4 address is yes. Auto-assign. Maybe we need to go in and 20 here. Auto-assign 6. Auto-assign public address is yes, which means that it's turned on. This means that the subnet automatically assigns a public IP address for all instances that are launched into it. Explore the Internet Gateway. In this task, you explore the VPC's Internet Gateway. In the Internet Gateway allows communication between the resources in the VPC and the Internet. It's horizontally scaled, redundant, and highly available VPC component. It imposes no availability task or bandwidth constraints on network traffic. In the preceding diagram, an Internet gateway provides access to Internet to two subnets that reside in the VPC. So there will be Internet to two subnets. An Internet gateway servers. In the left navigation pane, choose Internet gateways. This part. Can I take this one down? No, it's only one. Anyway, I'm just going to click. Should already be selected if it isn't selected. Notice the state of the Internet gateways is attached. State is attached. The Internet gateway is attached to the VPC shown under VPC ID. Attached to this ID. This is the VPC ID of the default VPC. Explore the route table. In this task, you explore the route table used by default VPC. Route tables. Route table ID. You verified that Internet gateway exists, and this is attached to the default VPC. Route tables attached to this VPC. Route table ID, VPC ID. Okay, a route table contains a set of rules called routes that are used to determine whether network traffic is directed. Each subnet is in a VPC must be associated with the route table because the table controls the routing for the subnet. A subnet can be associated with only one route table at a time, but you can associate multiple subnets with the same route table. Okay, to use the Internet gateway, a subnet's route table must contain a route that directs Internet-bound traffic to the Internet gateway. If the subnet is associated with a route table that has a route to the Internet gateway, it's known as a public subnet. And in the left route tables, we have selected the route tables. In the lower half of the page, choose routes tab. Shall I go back? Route tables, and routes tab. It is here. There are two routes. No, there are only one. Route tables. Routes, okay, here. Okay, one is internet. I see it now. All traffic. In the lower half of the page, choose routes. There are two routes, a local route and public route. All traffic that is designed for 172.3.1.0.0.16, netmask 616. Why I'm not able to go there? Okay, this is the local, and destination 0 is the internet attached to internet gateway. Choose the subnet associations. Okay. Oh, there are lots subnet IDs. In the subnets without explicit association section, notice that the subnet with the IP 4, okay, CIDR includes in the list. This is the same subnet you viewed earlier. 31.00, this one, okay, is included in the list. All of the subnets in this list are public subnets because they have route table entry that sends traffic to the internet through the internet gateway. It's all public. The routes are sending to internet gateway. Explore the default security group. In this test, you explore the update the security group used by default VPC. Security group acts as a virtual firewall for instances to control inbound and outbound traffic. Security groups operate at the level of elastic network interface for the instance. Security groups do not operate at the subnet level, thus each instance can have its own firewall that controls traffic. If you don't specify a particular security group at launch time, the instance is automatically assigned to the default security group for the VPC. It has a security group. In the left navigation pane, choose security group. We are going to see down here somewhere. Security and security group. Default security group should already be selected. Default. In the lower half of the page, choose outbound rules. Outbound rules, all traffic. Should find the rule that rule allows all protocols and all port ranges to send traffic to any IP addresses. All protocol, all port range. In the later step, you deploy EC2 instance with a website into the default VPC for incoming traffic from sources outside the VPC to access this website. You must add a new security group rule because you should not make changes to the default security group. You create a new one, then you add a rule to your new security group that permits HTTP port 80 traffic to traffic that comes from anywhere on the internet. Create security group. Web servers SG. Okay, description, all HTTP access. Keep the VPC selection on the same VPC. In the inbound rule section, choose add rule. Add rule. Type HTTP is here. 80. Source type drop down list. Choose anywhere IP4. For description, allow web access. Okay. Create security group. Here down, create security group. And now deploy an EC2 instance. To test that your VPC is correctly configured, launch an EC2 instance into public subnet. You must confirm that you can access EC2 instance from the internet. On the services, we can go here back EC2. On the main page, we can find it also on the main page. Instances running. Net launch instance, we are going to launch a new one. I thought there is one already. Launch instance, name and tags pane, add name, add name and tags, name, web server, choose Amazon machine, image, application iOS management, image mesh, Amazon application iOS. This one was on machine image. We need to choose Amazon Linux, which is already selected. Select macro to micro to T2 micro. In the key pair login selection, key pair name required. Which one? Proceed without a key pair. Without a key pair. Network settings section, choose edit. Network settings, edit. Firewall security group, select an existing security group. Network settings, firewall security groups, choose select an existing security group. Select existing security group. Security group info. Common security group web server, the one that we just created, is selected here. Advanced details, go here. In the advanced details section for IAM instance profile, choose work role. In the advanced details section, copy the following command and pass them into the user data box. Okay, IAM instance work role. Instance type is work role. And in the advanced details, that's all I guess. User data. Here is where we all this is very short. I need to copy it all. Need to go to the end. Oops, sorry. Until here. Okay, should be now branched and launch instance. The code is running. Instance is launch. Summary launch instances. Here. View all instances, instance state running. We need to wait until it shows running. And select web server. From details tab, copy public IP address. I'm just going to refresh and see it's running now. from the public IP address is here. No, why it didn't work? What did I do? From details tab, copy public IP address, open a new browser, paste it IP address and then press enter. If you configure the VPC correctly, the inventory application and this message should appear. Please configure settings to connect the database. Please configure settings. It didn't appear. Okay, now it's working. I was a little rushing, I think. Setting, so it's running now, inventory. Okay. If the inventory application does not appear, wait for 60 seconds to refresh the page. Okay, just needed to wait a little. Creating a VPC. Being able to use the default VPC when you are first learning about working with AWS Cloud is very convenient. However, in the real world, you often need to create custom VPCs to meet the customer requirements. For example, a customer might have already used the CIDR range of the default VPC in their on-premises network configuration. A customer might also want to vary how many addresses are included in each subnet. Because it's not possible to change the CIDR ranges assigned to VPC or its subnets, you need to create a new VPC for your customer. In this scenario, you create a new VPC. Your customer provided the following network requirements for the VPCs: CIDR ranges, top-level VPC, availability zone. They need to deploy their resources to 2 availability zones, 2 public subnets, 2 private subnets. The default that you explored earlier did not have any private subnets. Remember that the difference between a public subnet and private subnet is whether they can be reached directly from the internet. The route table associated with the public subnet includes a route to the internet gateway, and the route table for a private subnet does not. So now we are going to create a custom VPC. Let's go back to VPCs and create a new VPC. Create a VPC. Choose create VPC. Okay. Resources to create. Choose VPC and more. VPC and more. Name tag auto generation. Enter name tag auto generation. Enter lab. Name tag. Where is the name tag? Auto lab. Auto generate. For the CIDR block, IP4. CIDR. Where is that CIDR block? For CIDR block, it's okay. It's showing here. Availability zones, choose 2. We need 2 availability. There is no IPv6. 2 availability zones, tenancy default. Number of private subnets, we need 2. Number of public subnets, public 2, private 2. Expand customizable subnets CIDR block. Okay. Using the ranges provided by your customer. It was just over here. Let me see here. Public subnet 1. This is public subnet 1. The second one was provided by customer is here. And now the private subnet, private is showing here. And the other one is this one. Okay. Endpoints. Let's go back and now just with that did that. then security web where I was. Okay, create VPC, customize subnet CIDR blocks. Take a moment to review preview diagram provided in the wizard. Update the subnet block values using the ranges provided by your customer. This is what we have done. Take a moment to review the preview diagram provided in the wizard. It's showing just here. Subnets. It created two root tables and networks connection. That's good. It gives all of it. Lab VPC and create. Now it's creating VPC. Once it's created, there is DNS hostname, DNS resolution, attached internet gateway VPC. Okay, now it's created. We can just view it from here. The wizard immediately starts creating your VPC. After it finishes, you have VPC that has all the components that you explored earlier: subnets, root tables, an internet gateway, and a default security group, which if you have done this lab practice, you will also learn them in the first section. Subnets and private subnets, like a default security group explored earlier. The default security group created by the wizard blocks incoming traffic from the internet to reach a web server. In new VPC, you need to add a rule to this default security group. Choose a view VPC default. Recall that VPC default security group does not allow traffic from outside the VPC, because you should not change the default security group. You add a new security group to custom VPC. In the left navigation pane, choose security groups. Now we will go to security groups. Create security group. What is the name? Web server 2 SG. Okay, description, allow HTTP access. Clear selection, then choose lab VPC. We need to have this one that we just created. For inbound rule selection, choose add rule. We are going to add another rule, HB. Because it's default and doesn't have internet access, we are going to allow internet access to this VPC. So we are creating, sorry, this will be 0, already was there, I think. Okay, so we need to select source type and it will come automatically. And create security group. Now we have an attached security group that is connected to internet. Deploy an EC2 instance into your custom VPC. To test that your custom VPC is correctly configured, launch EC2 instance into the public subnet. You confirm that you can access EC2 instance from the internet. On the services, we need to go to EC2s to find our EC2 instance. Launch instance from drop-down list. Okay, we need to launch instance. We need to launch another one. Okay, we need to launch another one and see if our new VPC is connected. Okay, it's going to be Amazon Linux and 23 T2 micro here. Key pair, not recommended. Proceed without key pair. Proceed without network settings. Exit network settings. Edit. We need to connect to our lab VPC we just created. Okay. subnets, choose subnet public public one, first one. Auto-assign public IP, enable firewall security groups. Select existing security group. This is the one that we created. Advanced settings section, I am instance roles. Advanced here. Is it here? Here maybe. Advanced on the advanced details. I am instance profile. Work role. Oops. Work. I went to work role is here. And now it's the code for our web server. It's previously created code. Launch instance. Just need to wait until it's running. I'm just going to check advanced details, work role, advanced. Now I'm going to go back to instances and wait until it shows running. So this is our second web server that we created the VPC and subnet and then attached to this VPC, this EC2 instance. It's going to take a little while, just need to wait. Now it's running, just need to wait until everything is running. 2 checks passed. Okay, so now everything is running. You just need to be a little bit patient and we are going to go public, get the public IP. Maybe we can try like this. If it's going to work, I'm just going to copy and paste it here. Let's see if it's this one. Okay, now it's running and configured. Let's see what the instruction says. The summary launch instance, view all instances. After running, details public IP address. It's just that we did. If it doesn't, and now we are going to complete the lab and the lab because the instance is running. I think after having that on AWS Educate, after this course getting started with networking, I feel much clearer about how the VPCs works, how subnet works, because if in other lab sessions we were creating EC2 instances, but how to attach the subnets, when to attach the subnets, or how they work, it wasn't much clear. It just I was doing them, but now I understand how it will show on an architectural level. So I think it's much better to go through the networking, getting started networking part, and it will be it's much better to understand other labs as well. So if you haven't done that earlier, go and study this lab practice, get the training first and do the lab practice, and you will be in a much better place, I think. I will see you in my next session. Bye. If you want to learn AWS Cloud and you don't know where to start and you are looking for guidance, you can learn by practicing, and sometimes it's hard to stay up to schedule. You get lost in many irrelevant topics. You don't want to lose your concentration. This is the one-page PDF that I prepared, my path that I used to learn AWS Cloud, and you can study and practice and you can become cloud practitioner. This is the best way to start. It's a 6 weeks plan, but it depends on your days and your schedule. If you are busy, you can take that 6 weeks and make it a little longer, but it has all the hands-on experiences and hands-on practices lab practices, and lots of badges that you can get. And it has all the links. You just click on them. These are all links. They are all linked, and you just click on them and you go and find what you are going to study. And important, these are the important links and notes to consider. It's all included in one page. If you want to get that, just click the link in description and you'll find how to get it.